Rejection is something we all face. It's not reserved for a few unlucky folks. It visits everyone who dares to try, to dream, to step out of the comfortable and into the meaningful. The problem isn't rejection itself, it's what we think it means. See, most people treat rejection like a wall. They hit it and turn around. But the truth is, rejection is rarely a wall. It's more often a signpost. It's saying not this way or not yet, but it's not saying stop. That's a choice we make. Think about this. How many times have you looked back and realized that what felt like a loss was actually a blessing in disguise? That job you didn't get, it made room for something better. That person who walked out, they made space for someone right. Rejection is not a verdict, it's direction. It doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're being guided towards something that fits who you really are, not just what you thought you wanted. We've got to stop taking it personal when a door closes. That door might be closing for reasons we can't yet see. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe the opportunity wasn't what it appeared to be. But here's the deal. If you spend your energy pounding on a closed door, you'll miss the one that just cracked open down the hall. You don't fail when you get rejected. You fail when you stop knocking. You fail when you let someone else's no turn into your own. Rejection should fuel you, not finish you. Some of the most successful people in the world were told no 100 times before anyone said yes. But they didn't take those no's as a reflection of their value. They took them as a signal to keep moving, to adjust, to grow, and to keep knocking until the right door opened. Now, I know it stings. I know it can shake your confidence. But hear me, just because they didn't see your value doesn't mean you don't have any. Don't let one person's opinion become your identity. When you know your purpose, rejection becomes nothing more than a detour sign. It slows you down just long enough to reroute you towards something greater. So, the next time rejection shows up, don't lower your head. Lift it, square your shoulders, smile, even if it's a little shaky. And remind yourself, this isn't the end. This is the reroute. This is the training. This is the test before the testimony. Rejection might delay your dream, but it doesn't have the power to destroy it unless you hand it that power. Criticism. Now that's a tough pill to swallow, isn't it? Especially when it comes from people we respect, or worse, people who don't even know the whole story. But let me tell you something. Criticism isn't the enemy. The real enemy is how we respond to it. You see, not all criticism is created equal. Some of it is gold and some of it is garbage. The trick is knowing the difference. There's a saying I like, eat the fish, spit out the bones. That's how you handle criticism. You take what's helpful, what makes you better, and you toss the rest. Just because someone says something about you doesn't make it true. What matters is whether there's a lesson in it, not whether it came gift-wrapped in kindness. Truth doesn't always show up politely, but it's still truth. Now, there are two types of critics out there, those who build and those who break. The builders will point out your blind spots because they care. They want to see you grow. Their words might sting, but they're given with love. Then you got the breakers, the ones who throw shade because they're standing in the dark. They criticize not to help, but to hurt. And friend, you've got to learn not to take every word to heart. Some people speak from their own wounds, not from wisdom. One of the most dangerous things you can do is let criticism get inside your identity. It's one thing to say, I made a mistake. And it's a whole other thing to say, I am a mistake. See the difference? One leads to learning, the other leads to quitting. Don't let someone's poor delivery block a valuable message. And don't let someone's bitterness become your blueprint. I'll be honest with you, the higher you climb, the more criticism you're going to hear. That's just how it works. People don't throw rocks at parked cars. If you're moving, you're going to rattle a few cages. That's not something to avoid. It's something to understand. Take what you need, leave the rest, and keep going. You were not made to please everybody. You were made to grow, to rise, and to fulfill your purpose. So when criticism comes, and it will, treat it like a tool, not a weapon. Use it to sharpen your edge, not dull your shine. There's something powerful that happens when you stop giving other people the pen to write your story. See? Too many folks out here are living according to someone else's expectations, carrying labels they never asked for, and making decisions based on fear of judgment. But here's the truth. Other people's opinions are not your roadmap. You got a voice. You've got a dream. You've got a calling that was not handed out in a group meeting. It was placed in you specifically. That means not everybody's going to understand it, support it, or even like it, and that's okay. You're not here to live a life that checks off someone else's boxes. You're here to live a life that sets your soul on fire. It's easy to let someone's criticism become your internal dialogue if you're not careful. One offhand comment can echo in your mind for years if you let it. But you've got to guard your identity like treasure, because that's exactly what it is. You are not defined by rejection, by failure, or by what someone said when they were having a bad day. You are defined by how you rise in the face of all of that. When you let others write your story, you start shrinking to fit their narrative. You tone it down, you play it safe, and eventually you forget who you really are. But life isn't about fitting in. It's about standing firm. It's about knowing who you are, what you're here for, and holding on to that, especially when voices around you are loud and negative. You don't need their approval to be valuable. You don't need their permission to pursue your purpose. You only need to believe that you were made for more, and then walk in that truth every single day. If you're feeling resistance, don't panic. That's not a sign to stop. That's a sign you're going somewhere. See? Resistance doesn't show up when you're standing still. It shows up when you're pushing forward, when you're stepping out, when you're doing something that matters. If no one's pushing back, you might not be pushing hard enough. People tend to think that struggle means they're doing something wrong, but the truth is, resistance is often confirmation that you're on the right path. Growth has growing pains. Progress makes noise. And when you start moving, especially toward your purpose, you're going to stir up discomfort in yourself and in others. Not everyone wants you to rise. That's not because you're doing anything wrong. Sometimes your courage exposes their comfort. Your discipline shines a light on their excuses. And your progress, well, that reminds them of the work they haven't done. That resistance you're feeling might not be a wall. It might just be someone else's insecurity trying to block your blessing. Don't let it stop you. When the wind blows hardest, that's when you dig in. When the pressure rises, that's when you lean forward. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. Resistance builds strength. It's how you develop the grit, the character, and the resilience to handle the next level of your journey. So if it's hard right now, good. That means you're stretching. That means you're growing. And that means you're on your way to something worth the fight. Belief is not something you find, it's something you build. And like any muscle, it doesn't grow unless you use it. You've got to work that belief every single day, especially when life throws punches, when the critics get loud, and when rejection makes you question your path. Because let me tell you something, if you don't believe in yourself, you'll spend your life waiting for someone else to do it for you. Too many people wait for confidence to magically appear. They think they need a certain title, a certain number in the bank, a round of applause before they can believe they're worthy. But belief doesn't come from what's outside of you. It comes from what you decide inside. You decide to show up. You decide to keep going. And every time you do, that belief grows just a little bit stronger. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up on the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. It's about saying, I don't feel ready, but I'm showing up anyway. That's how belief gets built. You stack small wins. You speak life into your own dream. And you refuse to let doubt take the driver's seat. Now, let me be real with you. There will be days when belief feels heavy. Days when it feels like the dream is too far, the goal is too high, or you're just too tired. That's when you have to remember why you started. You've got to remind yourself that what you're building matters, that your future is worth the fight. You wouldn't be dreaming it if you didn't have the capacity to reach it. That dream chose you. But it's up to you to believe in it, even when no one else does, especially then. Because belief isn't just a feeling, it's a decision you make every single day, no matter what's happening around you. There's a lot of noise in this world. Opinions, distractions, criticism, fear. It all shows up the moment you start stepping towards something meaningful. And if you're not careful, that noise will drown out your purpose. It'll make you question your worth, your path, even your reason for trying. But let me tell you something. Your mission is more important than their noise. Not everyone is going to understand your journey. That's okay. It wasn't assigned to them. You're the one who got the vision, the calling, the desire that keeps pulling at your heart. So don't expect the world to cheer for something it wasn't designed to carry. Your job is to stay focused, to stay locked in on what really matters. Distractions will come dressed like opportunities. Criticism will sound like wisdom. And fear, well, it'll always pretend to be protection. But you got to know the difference. You got to be able to pause in the middle of the storm and say, this is noise, and I'm not letting it steer the ship. You see, every minute you spend defending yourself to the doubters is a minute you've taken away from building what matters. Every time you lower your energy to match someone's negativity, you step off the path you were climbing. And you weren't made to live down there, you were made to rise. So let the noise be noise. You don't have to respond to every comment. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Just keep doing the work. Keep moving forward. Stay grounded in your purpose. And trust that if you stay consistent, your results will speak louder than any critic ever could. As we wrap this up, I want you to remember one thing. You are stronger than any rejection, any criticism, or any obstacle that stands in your way. You have the power to stay focused, to rise above the noise, and to keep pushing forward no matter what. The journey ahead won't always be easy, but the prize on the other side is more than worth the struggle. Believe in yourself, build your belief, and know that you are capable of incredible things. Don't let anything stop you from becoming the person you were always meant to be. You're not in this alone. Every step you take, you're building towards something bigger, something greater. So take this energy, this fire, and keep it alive. Keep moving forward, keep believing, and never ever stop chasing the dream that was placed in your heart. Good luck on your journey. Thank you for being here today, for showing up for yourself, and for choosing to push through. The world is waiting for you to show up at your best, and I know you will. I'll see you at the top. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for more.